Here's just a little tour of my grow room downstairs right now. Start with this Cavendish dwarf banana, $6 at Home Depot. Tiny little plant, tiny little pot. One summer grew absolutely enormous and propagated. So now there's a pup here, and then there's one back there. Also, it's funny, if you look through everything that's going on here, you see some caladium. This is white queen. That's red flash. Every caladium you see here is basically an accident. I grow a lot of caladium out that goes outside in the summer. 3 different varieties that I start inside in grow pots, and usually I have them on heat mats, trying to get them to start for a couple of months, and it works really well. But every now and then you have stragglers, and then I'll dump out soil back into my kind of soil bin, and then you'll get these little pieces. I mean, like caladium, good lord, if there's just like one tiny little fragment, and it has that genetic material, and you give it enough time, it'll get going. So I'll subsequently have things pot into other pots, and then like some tiny little bit of caladium will start to get going. So that's why you kind of see it popping up in a couple of different places. And I mean, it's kind of a little bit wild, but I don't really mind it. It looks pretty. So anyway, got the banana here, 2 banana pups here. Then I have some canna lily. Got this at the, you see one down there, one there. There's one over there that's ragged, just came in from outside. Kind of a fringe product, but if you see the red there's some new ones coming up, so I'm not going to cut bait on that one. It's still plenty good. And then there's another one back there. I bought 3 plants that were in pretty rough condition from the Chicago Botanical Gardens the summer before this past summer, right at the end of the season. Had them out for a little while, then boxed the bulbs up, dug the roots up, put them away for the winter, and then took them out. And of the 3, one didn't make it through the winter. The other 2 started, but one, I don't know, something happened to it a little ways as it was growing up, and it died also. The 3rd one, not only did it grow, and I potted it in a really big pot, it grew absolutely massive and propagated all of these. So you see I have 4 just down here. There's another huge one that is upstairs right now in our living room, and that's the primary plant. That's another thing. Everything you see here that's tropical, there's a kind of a display area upstairs, and everything gets rotated up. But usually, especially with the elephant ears, for no more than a week at a time. And some of these elephant ears, so we've got, I think this is either diamond head or something else. Standard green elephant ears. Right here, a couple big ones with a diamond head. This was a result of a foolish experiment, which was to plant 2 different varieties of elephant ears in the same pot. Don't do that. That was dumb. Now these things are just maxed out. Like, those could be huge, but instead are very small right now. Same thing, another green elephant ear right here. And again, this one right here is a little rough shape. It only takes a week upstairs in our house where it's almost no humidity. And even with a humidifier, it's difficult to keep it humid. So these things go up for 1 week, come down for 2 weeks, and get a little R&R. So this one just needs a little bit of TLC, but it'll bounce back. They always do. Couple palms, Mexican fan back there. This is one of the Mexican fans that I just repotted into a larger pot. So again, this is one of the 8 months. I kind of all the 8 months that I have going, which there may be 6 or 7, I took the best 2 and potted them in larger pots like this. So this one just went into one, and this is the one that just started to go palmate, so we'll see. Mojito variety, elephant ear. And again, these ones I found, you had them out in the summer too. I found these ones don't flower as big as the green ones, but what they lack for that, I really like the look of these mojito style elephant ears. So I have these in a couple different pots. There's another one down here. And then the last thing, this is another thing that I got either from a local greenhouse or from Botanical Gardens. I can't remember. This is cordyline, and I'll tell you right now with cordyline, people tell stories about Christmas palm horror shows. And I mean, not Christmas palm, coconut palm horror shows, horror stories of trying to grow them inside. It's like I've signed up to get the experience of trying to grow a coconut palm without actually having a coconut palm, because these things are just a mite magnet. And really, saying something's a mite magnet's a little bit of a misnomer, because the everything is a mite magnet. I mean, if you haven't done this, like, real talk, you grow things indoors, mites are going to show up, and they're just there, and you got to regularly spray for them and regularly wipe your stuff and care for them. They're not going to go away. They just exist. I mean, you just got to kind of handle it. But this thing is like the canary in the coal mine, and it just gets smoked. So it's gone down, it's come back a couple of times, and this is a new leaf, so you can see, it's a healthy plant. It's popping back, but this is, it's just got to recover. And then down underneath, just because I had space in this pot, are a couple bromeliads that are pups that came off some other bromeliads that I had over the summer. So those are just kind of down there, and they're doing well. They're kind of coming up, just kind of hanging out in the pot, really, because there was extra room. So that's pretty much everything that's down here right now, I think. I think one of the things I'll be excited to see is these bananas get much larger. It's just, I find having just a couple bananas around is just nice. It's just a nice looking plant. And this one in another week is going to get rotated upstairs, and has done very well. And again, growing just from a really small pot. Oh, and then down here, again, for, a lot of people online have nurseries a lot bigger than this, obviously, but this is just kind of what I've got of more recent plantings. You can see a red flash caladium, snuck its way on board one of these plants, but that's all. The ones that have grown a little bit more, those are Washingtonia robustas, and everything that's a little bit smaller is either a Sable casiarum or Sable domingensis. So that's pretty much everything. Everything else that's not down here is on an upstairs rotation right now, but that is the group so far.